Hello everyone, my name's Norman Bolter. This is Frequency Bone Summer Music Connection 11, Video 2, and it's really the official beginning of the series. Video 1 was a overture to what's going to be happening in the series. A little teeny glimpse, actually. More than it's an announcement that it's going to happen. That's what that was, with maybe some hints about what it's going to be. About making the most of what you have. So what do we have? What do we have? Ever make a list of what you have? Now, if you were, and I'm not, but if you were really an accountant or someone, really taking command over their money, and it's here, and I put a little bit over there, and a little bit under there, and a little bit under the bed, and in this bank account, and that stock market, and this and that. You probably hire a person to see how all the funds are doing, to keep track of what you have. Okay, that's at the level of your money, maybe. And if you don't have that much money to be that diversified with it, then whatever little bit you have hiding under your bed, you probably still have to keep track of, because you have to spend it. And so when you spend something, you need to replace it. So we could look at a whole bunch of things that we have. It's a really interesting thing. Here's an exercise. Get a piece of paper or a journal, a notebook. What do I have? Just an interesting thought. Right now, we're focusing it down to you and your instrument. And you can say, okay, well, what do I have? Think of where that could go. How about how much time do you have in a day? Because like the accountant, you have to keep track of it. Otherwise, it can be squandered. Time can be squandered. And if you're squandering your time, whatever else you have doesn't make any difference, because you need time. And if you don't have time, say, well, I only have a half hour a day. Well, then do what a half hour will get you. Don't expect a ton of development to happen in a half hour a day. Okay? Some people, a great 2 to 2.5 hours, they can get quite a bit done. Other people like 4, 3, 4, 5. And of course, that has to be weighed out against what other kind of playing perhaps you're doing. So you have your practice time, you have your commitment time, whether it's band and orchestra at school, or your after-school jazz band. Those take time, and they actually take a toll on your embouchure and your general state of mind and fatigue. So you can say, well, how much energy do I have to do all these things? And we can feel very clearly, we're running out of gas. We're getting really tired. I can hardly hold my embouchure together. This rehearsal's really hard. So we have time, that is our time, and we have committed time. So we have to find a way to put our practice sessions, for example, into the time that we have, or that we're allowing for it. You can have all the time in the world, but if you don't have awareness, in that time that you're practicing your instrument, you're not going to get much done. So in orchestra, it's very easy. Believe me, I've played in orchestras a long time, okay? From the highest professional groups you can imagine, orchestra, trombones can sit for a long period of time. Many times I used to keep a notebook and write things during the rehearsal. When I was off for a movement or two movements, some people take a sleep. Some people are doing whatever they're doing. A lot of reading going on sometimes. Now, I'm not saying that's a great thing to do, but that's the reality of it. Sometimes it's good, okay, I don't play these 3 movements, I'm going to get off stage. That's probably the best thing to do if you can do that. Not all circumstances let you do that. But I think overall, if you can do that, that's probably good. Until it gets maybe closer to the concert and you really want to feel what it's like to be involved in the whole piece. Maybe enjoy the piece. Some people take a score out with them on stage, and they're making the most of their time in that rehearsal with what's going on. So you can see how you spend your time, whether it's committed time or your free time. You can either really have it have a lot of substance and usefulness or not. Now, there is time to kind of relax. You need that too. And people have various ways of doing that. Some ways I think are healthier than others. Okay? But that's for people to discover. Because then there's recovery time from your good time. So think about your energy, because your energy will fill the time, and the quality of your state of mind when you're with something. This is very important, okay? So we could look at a conservatory student, for example, or a professional, and say, wow, I have a rehearsal in the morning for the professional. I have to teach 3-4 hours in the afternoon. I have to go home in between to see the family for a bit, have some dinner, and go to the concert. That's a long day. And when I had days like that for 32 years, I'd practice an hour and a half in the morning before the rehearsal started. Even during family times, I had a very strong commitment with that. After the rehearsal, sometimes could teach all day, 1 to 6, have dinner, warm up again, or practice again, and then the concert, and sometimes warm down. So if you're not eating well, and you're doing other things that wear your energy out to relax you, that can really catch up. And then you're really not making the most out of your time, because you're always at overprocess and too much stress, which is an overprocessed state that can lead to a lot of illness. So take account of your time. Take account of your state of mental, emotional, and physical health. Planning your time is important. Everyone's going to have a different formula for that. And I'm probably saying things you've heard many times. Exercise is important. You want better energy levels? Tons of coffee might sound great. That's going to catch up. As well as other things that you drink or whatever. So let's go back to what I was talking about. I'm going to throw little things in just because I've lived quite a while already and I've seen the results of certain things. Take account of your time. Are you maximizing that time by being aware and planned? Know what you're going to do and be with what you're doing? How to increase your energy levels? By lifestyle changes of diet, meditation, other relaxation techniques. Maybe you're the kind of person that likes puzzles to keep your mind going. Know thyself well and what it takes to get into better energy states and better mental focus states. These are very basic first overlay body robotic system health. So if you're all extremely exhausted and overworked and stressed, your focus, your concentration will not be well. A concentration means to be with something. Not like this, but to be with something. With it. Like you might be in a relationship and the person says, "You're not with me. You're not listening." Your mind could be drifting. I think a lot of us have experienced that. So, we'll talk a little bit more about time and energy and what we have. But we do all have energy. We do all have time. We do all have schedules. And we have to find a way to work with them all. And have some time to smell the roses.